Hi, and good afternoon, everyone. We're here on Facebook Live once again. I'm Kim Anderson. And as we told you the past 2 weeks when we first started this Targeting the Violence Facebook Live, I'm here every week talking with people in the community who are making a difference, who are actually walking that walk and not just talking that talk to try to stop the violence in our area. And so we're getting some people on. Tag everyone you know. Tag the teenagers who need to hear this. Tag the parents, because both these gentlemen have amazing stories and amazing things that they're doing in the community. We've got DePaul Robinson with Adapt Focus, and we have Kalinsky Adams, who's known all over the city as DJ Dirty Dan, and with us today, and we're going to talk about what they're doing. So again, tag everyone you know coming for this conversation. Get in the comment box and ask us some questions, because we're going to answer your questions as well. DeQuell, I'm going to start with you first.
Yes.
You yourself was a victim of violence, so you know what it is. Tell us what happened to you. I want to know your story.
Well, back in 2008, I was home visiting school, and I was out with friends, like normal teenagers do. Well, I wasn't a teen then. I was at the age of 21, actually, hanging out, and got into some altercation with some fellas. And as I was walking back to my car, I was shot. When I woke up in the hospital, I found out I was shot actually 7 times. And when I was actually left for dead for an hour and a half before the ambulance even showed up. And by the grace of God, I was able to reach in my pocket and dial 911 and tell the ambulance where I was. And, I passed out. And everything was history from there on up.
You're the fortunate one. You're the blessed one.
Yes.
I'm going to call it blessed divine
Definitely
intervention
blessed.
Because you survived being
I
shot
did.
7 times, and a lot of people can't say that. And you were away at college.
Yes.
You were football scholarship.
Yes, played football scholarship, track, and everything. So I was very active into sports and always been active within the community. So I definitely understand the tragic and the senseless violence that's going on right now within Mobile, which is also within it's a global public health issue really within the gun violence. But I didn't let that situation stop me. I kept pushing forward and made the best out of my situation the best way I could.
And see, that's what a lot of people don't do. And I want these kids to understand that you don't have to be a victim. And you didn't play the victim because you actually went back to school and you got another scholarship.
Yes, I actually went back to school. Ended up getting a wheelchair basketball scholarship to the University of Alabama, where I obtained my bachelor's degree. I also got my master's, and I was also accepted into the PhD program as well. But I opted out not to go into the PhD program at the University of Alabama. Instead, I was actually offered to play professional wheelchair basketball overseas, where I went for about half a year, close to a year, before COVID, playing in France on wheelchair basketball.
Okay, so you've come back to Mobile,
Yes.
and you came back to help out our kids, because you're doing a lot for the city even, on keeping these kids out of the streets through a track program.
Yes, I coach track and field in the evening time as well for the Mobile Parks and Recreation Department, which I've actually been doing over 14 years. It's my passion. I love track and field and also giving back. And I see it as a way of actually mentoring and, mentoring with the youth and, staying engaged with the youth and what activities they have going on and, being a positive influence and a positive mentor as well.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you another question, then we're going to go on to Dan. You were a victim, so you know what it is the kids are getting into on the streets.
Yes.
What do we need to do to try to get them off the streets and get them out of that kind of life that they're trying to live?
And I think what we're doing right now, we bringing awareness to this issue and this situation. And I also believe that parents need to be more involved into what their kids are doing. Like being intentionally on who their kids are spending time with, where their kids are going. And social media has a big influence on what goes on within society and how the kids are interact when they go out. It's always trying to put on a show and always wanting to put their name, seem like they're trying to put their name out there,
get those likes,
and and that's what it's all about likes. Which is, can turn out bad sometimes.
Because it can ruin their lives forever.
It definitely can ruin their lives forever. By the grace of God, I'm still here. I'm living in my purpose with my nonprofit organization, Adapt Focus, which I have going on right now, along with coaching track and field.
All right, we're going to talk about Adapt Focus
Yes.
more in depth on that in just a minute. Now, Dan, you're in the hip-hop business, the hip-hop community.
Yes.
You've developed Alabama Hip Hop Week.
Yes.
And, let's just call it what it is. A lot of people try to blame hip-hop music on promoting a lot of that violence. but you're trying to do just the opposite.
Yes. I mean, that's what it's all about, trying to bridge the gap between community and artists because, the language is bad. It always has been bad in certain aspects, but also it's good in it as well. And that's what we're doing right now as we go into the community with the community tour.
All right, tell me about Alabama Hip Hop Week, because that actually kicks off, this weekend?
Yeah, so actually this weekend we kick off with the MOB Music Fest. It happens July 8th through 10th, and then we kick into Hip Hop Week the 11th through the 17th. And it's all about, community awareness, gun violence awareness, mental health awareness, and so much more.
And see, that's what you've got a host of kids who look up to you as being a DJ, as being a local rapper.
Yes.
And so you're using that platform to kind of reach down to them. Tell us, what are some of the things that we need to do to help reach that crowd too? Because these kids, they want to be a rapper, they want to be a football player, they want to be a basketball player. So we've got to find some way to kind of pull them in and reach them on their level.
That's why we wanted to make sure we use our platform for awareness because yes, it's time to talk. We got to talk about it. It's happening. No one's off limits right now.
Right.
Daughters, sons, nephews, nieces, moms, dads, anybody can get killed at any moment. So we want to make sure we use this platform and bring people together. So stand as a community because that's what it's all about.
And you mentioned that it's so funny because we've seen girls lately being arrested for murder.
Yes.
So it's not just these teenage boys. It's a lot of these teenage girls too that we have to reach. All right, tell us about the whole push for peace. With Hip Hop Week.
So the whole goal for Push for Peace is to bring the unity together. It's all about symbolism right now. We got to stand together. I was telling people on the streets that, we can't let the robbers and the gangsters and the people in the street that's doing all the bad control the neighborhood. We got to show that we are a community. So July 16th is a Push for Peace Day. We're going to start with Divine Purpose and Sparkle Productions downtown Mobile at Cathedral from 8 to 12 noon. And then we're going to take it to Pritchard from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. But the whole day is about pushing peace and making awareness about gun violence and mental health.
And those kids will come out because they want to see the music. They want to hear the music.
Yeah. And that's even with hip hop. We're going to do a lot of good in the community. But before you get to all this funds, all this good music, you got to hit a message, and you need to connect with the resources.
Any way we can change some of the language within the music industry?
I think it's hard to change the language because the access is so it's just you can get it from everywhere. And I tell people all the time, it's a lot. If you don't understand it's a lot, you'll never understand how to change it. So the whole thing is about addressing issue by issue, bit by bit, and just make this awareness so people can talk about it.
And gun violence is not cool.
That is not cool. It's unacceptable. We're not going for it. And that's why we stand. I think it's so important for us to stand up right now because it's happening so prominent. It's like, hey, what do? We got to talk about it, and we want to talk about it.
Okay. DeQuell, let's talk about Adapt Focus and how you got started and what exactly you're doing with Adapt Focus.
Well, Adapt Focus is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that deals with empowering and uplifting those with physical disabilities through athletic, recreation, and fitness program, while also providing mentorship for those that have been faced with sudden physical challenges. And that that concept and everything came about due to my situation and what sports and fitness and athletic has done for me since my injury, just being determined and giving me that pathway to move forward and continue to go on. Like I say, getting a scholarship for the University of Alabama, which is there are multiple colleges out there that offer scholarships for wheelchair sports, and it's an overseas league over there that you can play professionally. So there's things out there other than just being in a house with the disabilities, and I'm trying to create that here in Mobile because there's no area around nearby that a person with a disability can go out and enjoy themselves with any type of physical activity, any type of athletics. You have to drive 4 hours away, which is in Birmingham at Lakeshore, or 5 hours away, which is in Atlanta.
Okay. Now, it's me. We're talking on Facebook Live, so I'm bringing a little religion up in here. But I read a devotion every morning, and it was talking about how an idle mind is the devil's workshop. We've all heard that a lot.
Yes.
And that how much kids can get into so much trouble when they're not busy, when they don't have stuff to do. And unfortunately, a lot of our kids who are on the streets, who are living in the hood, or even outside of the hood, in any
Nobody's off limits. Nobody's off limits.
And that's what people don't understand. They think it's just kids in low-income areas who live in that type of area, that it can be anywhere. It can be your neighborhood. It can be my neighborhood. I've seen it firsthand.
Yes.
So with Adapt Focus, you're targeting people to keep busy with disabilities, but we also need to target, and you work with the kids with track too.
Yes.
What are some other things that we can do? How can we pull these kids in that are sitting in at home?
So one of our main focuses for Hip Hop Week and what we're doing is the family. like as we go in this community too and go into these different communities, we want to target those age groups. So as we go to Newhouse Park on DIP on July 12th, we'll be targeting the age groups from ages 13 to 19. But we're open to the entire family. We want everybody to come out, but we specifically want to target that age group. Also, once we go to figures, we want to target the whole entire family because we know all this stuff starts in the home. If you have a mother or dad at home and y'all can grab each other and come out and enjoy these activities, y'all can learn something together. And then once we get to Hillsdale, July 14th, it's all about Parks and Recs busting the kids in so they can get a chance to see the program because you got these kids from of summer camp from age 4 to 12 to even teens, and we just want to make sure everybody get the message. By the time we get to Pritchard, we're pushing peace, and of course downtown Mobile, we just want people to understand this is about your family. Bring your family to be a part of this because that's what it's going to take. You as an uncle, a dad, bring your nephew, bring your son, bring your niece, bring your cousins to be a part of these events.
It's community.
Yes.
Indeed. You know, so just like what he has going on, it's about creating activities.
Yes.
It's about creating programs, I believe, so for the youth to be involved. Because if they are constantly busy and active in other activities, they don't have time to actually go out and participate in things they don't supposed to participate in. So I think it's vital and important that we continue to do what we're doing right now, creating things for the youth, you know, getting them involved, you know, letting them know their voices matter, you know, and mental health is a huge issue right now within the country, you know, and it's affecting a lot of the youth because of what they're seeing and because of, you know, that social media, you know, that social media, especially parents have to fight, you know, against that social media, their peers, you know, so it's a constant battle, you know, but what we're doing right now and, you know, and what Mr. Kalinsky is doing, you know, creating these programs and these avenues for kids to get involved is where it starts.
And what we need to do, and you were at the Boxing Academy event when I was there the other week, is they're saying is to get these kids out, to provide transportation for them. And I wish that we could somehow get all organizations together who have something going on these kids and actually go out into the community and tell the parents what we have to offer for them.
You know, the biggest thing people got to understand, this is about collaboration. This is about partnership. This is about us standing together. If we're not doing that, we're never going to be able to get to any type of solution with these issues. So we got to come together. So, yeah, if you're a nonprofit out there right now, you know, you find other nonprofits and make sure you get involved with those guys because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the teamwork to make the dream work.
And that's where it starts.
Village.
Yeah, village. And it takes a village to raise a child. You know, we got many kids here in Mobile, you know, and it's a big family. And that's how we should look at it. You know, our community is a big family. And, you know, us as adults need to be coming together. Us as an organization, us as companies need to be coming up together with solutions and with you know, programs and things that can get our kids, you know, back on the right track.
I'm going to push your track league right here that you got going on because
Oh,
I was able to go. My daughter's on the track team with the city of Mobile, and I've seen the amazing things. I mean, you think he's in a wheelchair, but he's an amazing coach.
I appreciate it.
I mean,
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, because when we
thank
went to state, those kids were flying.
Listen, there are phenomenal kids here in Mobile, all around the world actually, you know, but track and field, you know, that's where my passion comes in at it, you know, and like you just mentioned, people see this wheelchair and like, how is he coaching in a wheelchair? But, you know, I took my knowledge and everything that I continue to learn throughout the years before my incident happened, you know, the mentor that poured into me, you know, to put me in a position that I am right now, helped me to pour into the kids. And I try my best to relate to those athletes, to relate to those kids as well, you know, that if you put your mind to anything you do, you know, you can accomplish that goal, you know, and I take that to track and field, you know, and, you know, I know they get tired of me sometimes, but it's my job to push them, and it's our job as parents and community to continue to push our kids, to continue to push, you know, the issue of, you know, staying on the right track, and there's so much better out there for you.
It's a sense of pride and it's a sense of belonging and also a family because I've seen those kids there and the way they look up to you, they know that someone cares.
Yes, and that's all. And sometimes that's what all they need, someone to care. You know, and our kids had a phenomenal performance there in Tennessee. A couple of regional champions that we had to qualify for the Junior Olympics in North Carolina. So I'm all around proud of them all.
Hey, D, I just want to say, man, like, man, hats off to you, man, because it's all about symbolism. You showing people that you can do something regardless. It doesn't matter. You keep pushing and keep going. That's what it's all about, and that's what people got to understand. You can do something that you never think you can do. You just got to try. You got to keep going. So that's what the message got to be about even to the youth right now. They're trying to figure out what they need to do next, and the symbols are all around them.
Yeah. And, hats off to you because you've been a great mentor out there. I mean, you could go off in L.A. and take off huge, big, and be the next big, phenomenal rapper, but yet you've chosen to stay here locally and even work with some of our kids. And, I mean, and I've got to say, don't give rap music a bad name because some kids, that's their passion, and you can teach them how to use that in a good way and blow up as well.
And then see, the thing about it is, it's all about the market changing at this point now. So now we got all these mega superstars coming out the market now. We've been building this over the last 24 years, and now it's at a place where we are the mantle. We're on the forefront of it. And the thing about it is, education is so important about how you approach the business, how you be a part of the business, and also how you do your music. So we got to educate them. We got to let them know that it's different ways you can go about that because they don't know. All they do is see what they see on the internet.
What they see.
And they see it on the internet, they think they can do it. But it's so much more to do.
Right.
And we have to push these kids for the education. When you're talking about education, my daughter is in advanced classes. And 2 of her advanced classes this year, they had none of our young guys in there.
Wow.
No young men. It was a class full of girls. So, I mean, we've got to do something to reach them. How can we reach them to push education?
I mean, just us as men need to step up.
Yeah.
Just plain and simple. Us as men need to step up and become, responsible role models that the youth can, look up to, and gain lessons from, because there's many men out there that's willing to do so, and I think it's about creating an avenue for those men to actually, have access to these youth, and there's ways. There are ways, and like I say, just men need to step up.
Yeah, because look at you. You got your master's, was offered a chance to get your PhD.
Yes, and I continue to put, and I'm continuing to actually trying to better myself, and I think that's what we need to continue to do as well. Each and every day, which I'm in the fall, I'll be starting my PhD as well, which I'm going back to school to get my doctorate. Just if it's a young man out there, and a gentleman, just talk to him.
Yes.
Get an understanding with, I think that's the biggest issue with social media. It don't allow us to communicate like we used to do.
Yeah.
You can walk past someone and not even see them because you got your head down. The barbershop used to be a place of, where you can go in and you could just talk to young men and give them life lessons about what you experienced. And we need to continue to bring that back. We need to continue to implement that, involve that into our communities.
And that's one thing that even with Hip Hop Week and the community tour, what we're doing, we want to make sure people understand it don't cost you to attend these events. These events are free. FREE to everybody who want to come because we want you there. If you're making donations and doing all that's cool, but we just really want your ear. We want to see your body there because symbolism is the biggest point of everything right now because people really don't believe people network. They don't believe people stand together, and that's what we're trying to show. So I just want to invite everybody out to the MOB Music Fest, to Alabama Hip Hop Week, and just let you know that it's free. It don't cost a thing. Just bring your body, bring your entire family.
And there's going to be lots of different, not vendors, but just organizations there to kind of talk to these kids about mental health and different things like that.
Yeah, Mobile Health Department, Project Thrive. We got a lot of organizations coming out, and it's all about getting the resources to the people. And that's one thing we want to do. Make sure when you come out there, it's just so much to do because people have been kind of shut down even from COVID, and that's another thing. COVID has sent kids and people into a whole nother mindset. People are suffering from mental health issues because of COVID. So now we're back outside, and I know it's still kind of iffy, but at the end of the day, when you come outside, you need to just come outside and be a part of the community and just know this is your community. You can live in it and be happy in it.
I talked to a lady that I ran into and was telling me about, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago, the little 11-year-old boy that was killed over in R.B. Taylor. And she was saying that she goes there to visit some of those kids, and now that the younger ones are so afraid that they really won't even come out their doors. So she was saying, too, that we get people to come to that community so these kids can start trusting again.
Those communities are my communities, the Baltimores, the RVs, the Maysvilles. So those are communities I grew up in. So I understand everything that those people are going through. And it didn't start when the young guy got killed. It's been going on, but also it's time for people with resources to come and bring those resources to these communities because they're needed all over, really all over the city, for sure.
And I believe also if you, as an adult, if you see a young kid acting out as well, say something.
Yeah.
I don't think we have that relationship like we used to have.
Yeah.
No.
My mom gave permission for everybody to discipline me anywhere I went, and I believe we don't have that connection anymore. We always worrying about, no, you can't, chastise my child. You can't, get onto my child and everything, and that's what your child needs, actually. To be disciplined when you're not around. So it's up to us as adults and parents to pretty much and to check that, to keep them on that right track. Because if you allow something to go on,
Yes.
all it's going to do is continue to get worse and worse after time, and then they're not going to have respect for anyone or authorities or anything. Then they're going to fall into a hole and fall in a hole they can't get out of.
Yes.
And it's so good to see the two of you because you're African American role models for our children. And a lot of people saying that there's not many out there. There's a plethora out there.
Yes, it is.
It's just a matter of connecting with the right people
Yeah.
or actually getting those kids to you.
Yeah.
Right.
To your different organizations and the different things that you're doing. So I'm love seeing this. I know, Dan, you had talked about the importance of voting. At one time, we were talking about that earlier out in the hallway as well.
Yeah, I was with Shalita Dowdy of Stand Up Mobile. We talked about just voting overall because right now people want to see change, but it starts there. You got to get out and vote. Those elected officials that you want to see in those offices and in those hot seats, because they're hot seats. You got to vote for them. So we want everybody to get out and vote. Please get out there and vote, man. You want to see some change? Get out and vote.
Yeah, I mean, our leaders are trying to do what they want, what they can, but we still need to make sure that the right people are in place to really
always.
do
Yes.
something to promote and to help with our children.
Oh yes.
So again, let's go over when Hip Hop Week is starting and the different areas you're going to hit.
So it's officially the community tour. The community tour is happening July 8th through 17th. July 8th through 10th is MOB Music Fest downtown Mobile in Cathedral Square, and it's free. It's FREE. Let me say it one more time. It's free. FREE. Just make your way downtown Mobile with the Loader Art Walk. Also, July 11th through 17th, we'll be going to community centers throughout Mobile. We'll start off on July 12th with Newhouse Park. That's the teen center on DIP. On the 13th, we'll be going to Figures Park. And then on the 14th, we'll be at Hillsdale. And then on Saturday, July 16th, it's all about pushing peace from downtown Mobile at 8 a.m. in Cathedral Square to 2 p.m. in downtown Pritchard. And it's all about the Community Tour 2022 right here in Mobile, Alabama.
Grab your kids, grab your friends, grab your neighbors, grab your nieces, your nephews, everyone.
And come
going down.
out for free.
For free.
Now for Adapt Focus, for those parents who never even knew you were out there,
Yes.
that there's different activities and different events for their children who may be disabled. How do we get in touch with?
Yes, you can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Adapt Focus. You can find us on the website, www.adaptfocus.org. You can find the contact information. And we also, it's a new organization that's trying to get started and trying to get off the ground. So I'm all about networking, and that's, I know we were speaking on that earlier, but about organizations coming together and actually connecting together to try to, provide a better Mobile, So, Adapt Focus, all about, mentorship and bringing education and fitness and athletics to those that have physical disabilities or those that have been faced with sudden physical challenges.
So there's something for everybody, and I so appreciate you guys coming out. Next week, we've got some really nice guests lined up. I've got another DJ who a lot of people know around town who's going to be coming up talking
Yes.
about the different mentorship programs and the blogs and everything else that he's got going on to reach these kids. And this guy's been trying to reach kids for years and just doing it himself, so I'm so happy for him. Also, we have a gentleman that's got a jazz instrumental camp.
Okay.
That is going to be going on for some of the kids and the youth, because there's some kids who don't play sports. There's some kids who don't do hip hop, but they can put an instrument in their hands and they can go far and be amazing.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about that. So make sure that you tune into our Facebook Live on next Thursday. We're doing it Wednesday today because Thursday was just had a lot of stuff on the calendar for
Yes.
that. And you guys have been amazing. You
Thank
just
you so
don't
much.
know
Thank
the
you.
difference that you two are making with the kids in the community. I've seen them firsthand with the two of you, so I know
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. You got the community proud of you.
Yes.
Keep pushing and doing what you do, and we're gonna all do this together. This is
Yes.
something we're gonna work on together
That's what it
to
takes.
change our community and get our kids back on track. We'll appreciate you. Post this with anybody you can. Share it with them. If you're not watching live, it'll be on our website as well, mynbc15.com. I'll see you next week. Thank you.